Continue to sit with the gratitude of the darshan. Continue to hold that space of gratitude and sit with any thought, just let it go, let it come, let it go. Now start chanting the Mahavakya. Experience the space of oneness. If that space of oneness scan through your third eye, that manifests the power of third eye. I'm going to project the picture. All of you, please close your eyes and tie your eyes with eye band and chant the Mahavakya with Swamiji's form in your inner space. Projecting the picture.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasudashiva. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda. 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 Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda.
Yes, can you all hear me? Yes, please open your eyes and hope whatever your third eye reveal is shared. Am I audible? Yes, I'm projecting the picture. This is what I projected. Yes, now let's learn about the next layer, which is the mental layer. Manomaya, the mental body. The mental layer is associated with the powerful emotion of guilt. Thoughts are much more powerful than we think they are. We think our thoughts can at the most affect only us. For example, we may think that if we have negative thoughts, they can put only us into depression. Or when we are happy, we feel a positive outlook in our thinking or something. But we don't understand an important thing. Our thoughts do not affect just us. They affect everybody around us. In fact, our thoughts affect the whole world. We may not be able to believe this logically, but it is our collective thoughts that are responsible for every single incident happening in this universe. Nothing is an accident. Nothing happens randomly because we don't understand the science behind what is happening. We call them incidents or accidents or coincidences. For this, we need to clearly understand these deep yet fundamental truths about life that will change the very way we look at life. First thing, all our minds are not individual separate pieces of the universe. They are all one and the same. All our minds are interlinked. Not only interlinked, they directly affect each other. What I call collective consciousness. Your thoughts are as infectious as your cold. People may escape from your cold. It is not just so infectious, but your thoughts are so infectious, much more than your cold is. If you catch a cold from someone, you might suffer physically for a few days and then get over it. But when you catch thoughts from people, not only do you suffer mentally, but the suffering is also forever. Similarly, anything that you think affects the people staying around you, it affects not only those who are staying closely around you, but everyone living on planet Earth. Your intellect might resist saying, how can this be true? But the truth is, all of us are not different beings, are different minds. We are all totally interlinked, closely networked. Any of my thoughts can transform you. Any of your thoughts can touch me. We are not separate individuals. We are not an island. There is only one whole thing, collective consciousness. The second truth is that you are connected not only at the mental level, but even at the deeper conscious level. The deeper you go, the deeper you are connected. We are all actually connected in the levels of all the seven energy bodies. Now, in the physical layer, you, God, and I can be represented as three different points quite far from each other, say 150 degrees away from one another. In the physical layer, the distance is so much. If you come down a little in the pranic level, the distance is reduced. The 3 points come a little closer. If you come down, if you come down deeper into the mental layer, the distance between you and I is further reduced. And so is the distance between you, God, and I. So when you travel deeper and deeper and finally reach the nirvanic layer, these three entities merge into one. Are you able to catch this? The physical layer is the outermost layer. So you and me are seen as a separate thing. The distance is we feel so much. And all the other layers, the pranic layer, mental layer, etheric layer, all other layers, as we go to the center, nirvanic layer, by the time we reach nirvanic layer, we become all one. So, physical layer only, we are all separate. But as we move closer, we are all, the distance between we reduces. So the mental layer, the distance is the thought level, it affects everyone. It's called collective consciousness. So what is your understanding? Can you all please post it in the chat? It's very important you all to understand this. We're all not separate. Wonderful. And how about others? And the physical level only, we are looking separate, we are separate. But as we go deeper, physical layer is the outermost layer. By the time we go to the center, Nirvanic layer, we all become one. Only one consciousness. There is no separation. So as we move closer to each layer, the distance decreases. Are you able to catch this point? So now let's move forward. If you come down a little to the pranic level, the distance is reduced. The 3 points come a little closer. If you come deeper into the mental layer, the distance between you and I is further reduced. And so is the distance between you, God, and I. So when you travel deeper and deeper and finally reach the nirvanic level, these 3 entities merge into one. Please be very clear that at the deep end of all these layers, that is the nirvanic layer, God, you, and I are one. There is no distance between us. Let us go a little deeper into this truth. We all seem like different entities at the physical level. But what happens when you love someone immediately? His or her love and suffering affects you. It comes and goes out of your being. This is because at a deeper level, there is no individual entity, and each one of us is a part of the collective consciousness. Of course, you do not want the suffering. However, you cannot escape from the suffering. Have you noticed that whether it is physical pain or mental suffering or spiritual bondage, you get it again and again? This is because you are not aware that you are not part of the collective consciousness. Once you become aware and realize that you are a part of the collective consciousness, that you do not have an individual identity, you realize that you do not have a separate ego. All of us think that we own our intellectual identity. However, the simple truth is in existence. No such thing as a separate individual identity exists. Once we know this truth, we go beyond pain, suffering, depression, and disease. Understand clearly that as long as we have this concept of individual identity, whether physically or mentally or at the being level, we will be continuously suffering. The moment we start thinking that we are an individual body that is separate from existence, our whole body becomes our entity. You are a part and everything is a whole. If we fall in tune with the whole behaves as your friend. The moment you start thinking, discriminating, or behaving with the whole in opposition, it starts acting like an enemy. Remember, the whole is not here to kill you or destroy you. The whole, the universe, is a hologram of which we are a part. Just as in a hologram, every single part of the hologram, even if split, reflects the totality of that hologram. We too reflect the totality of the whole that is the universe. The other day, I read an interesting interview of this man who survived his jump, his jump into the Niagara Falls. This being an unusual event and a very daring one. there were many journalists questioning him. If you have been to the Niagara Falls, you would know the depth of the fact that someone survived jumping down the Niagara Falls. I can't imagine someone surviving the Niagara Falls. So Ishananda posted his understanding. Therefore, enlightened saints all show selflessness and compassion because they know that they are one with others. There is no direct distinction. You are me and I am you. Yes. Beautiful understanding, Ishananda. Perfect. When asked how he managed this unimaginable feat, the man replied beautifully, when I jumped, I became a part of the Niagara Falls. I felt like I was a part of it. I never felt that I was different from these falls. When we are in tune with the collective consciousness, when we become a part of the collective consciousness, nature is with us. Nature is our friend, and nature protects us. Nature will not harm us. When we start thinking that we are different from nature, that we are an individual consciousness, we will always experience nature as our enemy. Let us be very clear that as long as we are in tune with the collective consciousness, we experience nature as that which protects us. Wherever we want to achieve success, either in the social or economic world, when we tune in with the whole group, when we fall in tune with the collective consciousness, we will achieve what we want to achieve. As long as we feel that we are separate individuals, as long as we want to keep our identity distant and wish to have an idea that we are somebody, be very clear. We will be resisted and we will be resisting. The moment we start resisting, we will make a hell out of it. Whether at home, office, workplace, or industry, this is bound to happen. However, if we disappear into the collective consciousness, we will be protected and taken care of again and again. We will attain complete success, not only socially and economically, but we will also experience it. It would be a feeling of fulfillment which is inexplicable. A small story. A man was suddenly informed that his wife has fallen into the river. He immediately jumps into the river and starts swimming against the current. Everybody is surprised and asks him, hey, why are you swimming against the current? He replies, you guys don't know my wife. Even if she falls into the river, she would only swim against the current. As long as we resist the current, whether it is our workplace, our house, our company, or any other place for that matter, as long as we do not disappear into the collective consciousness, we will be continuously creating hell for ourselves and for others. The Tao, in the ancient Chinese philosophy, contains the same teaching. Tao is all about flow. It is about flowing with nature. Water is the greatest illustration of such a natural flow. Water simply flows with the landline around obstacles smoothly and energetically. Tao talks about the needs in the water that bend with the flow and straighten up once the flow reduces. This can only happen when we do not imagine ourselves to be different from our environment. Even in the physical layer, if we think we are something separate, be very clear, we will be inviting diseases. Another point is that in the mental layer, if we think we are separate individuals, we will be sowing seeds of violence again and again in our system. Seeds of violence are created whenever we feel we are an individual, unconnected and unrelated to others. We turn selfish, dogmatic, and violent. We turn into virtual terrorists. With individual consciousness, we dissect. We cut things into pieces. Understand that such logic always breaks things apart. However, with collective consciousness, we unify everything around us with us. At the soul level, if we think we are separate individuals spiritually, we cannot even take the first step. There is no possibility of any spiritual growth. First of all, remember that at the physical level, we are not independent individuals. Our body and the body of the sun and the moon are three connected. Any small change in the body of the sun can make changes in our body. Any small change in our body can change the body of the moon and vice versa. So some of us may have noticed that the phases of the moon affect the state of our mind. We may not be able to logically relate these changes, but they are in tune. They are true. In the mental layer also, we are not alone. At any given point of time, any thought rising from anyone's head comes and touches us, and any thought created in our mind goes and touches someone else. This is going on continuously. Be very clear that any thought sown by someone else can touch us and affect us. Thoughts are like ripples created on the water surface of a lake. If we are creating a strong wave, we will be creating an impression with our thought. We will be leading and inspiring others with our thoughts. However, if our thoughts are not solid enough, waves created by others will impress us. Either we live as leaders or as followers. There is no in between. The mind might think, I will not be a leader as I cannot do that much. I will not be a follower either, so I shall maintain my own stand. This is simply impractical. There is no such thing as my own stand. Either we lead or we follow. In the mental level also, if you continuously think that you are a separate individual, you will be resisted again and again. The moment you understand that you are a part of the collective consciousness, you will not be resisted. Instead, you will be welcomed and accepted. Sit with this third truth. Finally, at the spiritual level, the moment we understand that we are deeply, totally, and intensely connected to the whole group, to the whole universe, not only do we start experiencing the bliss, but we also start to actually live. This opening up leads to the opening of the many different dimensions of our being. How many of you are following this? Are you all with me? Any question? Right? All Chinese Sangha is following up. Chakravarti Swarupani. So now sit the third truth. Finally, at the spiritual level, the moment we understand that we are deeply, totally, and intensely connected to the whole group, to the whole universe, not only do we start experiencing the bliss, but we also start to actually live. This opening up leads to the opening up of the many different dimensions of our being. We cannot even begin to imagine the many different dimensions and possibilities that will open up to us when we disappear into this collective consciousness. As of now, with one body, it is such a feeling of joy sometimes, isn't it? Then imagine what will happen when you have so many bodies. Imagine that one body is an air conditioner and the other one is a heater. Imagine three different bodies in different countries enjoying different cultures. Similarly, if the multitudes of bodies increase, so will the joy and the bliss. Whatever we experience as individuals, we will be able to experience far more when we are part of the collective consciousness. During the entire Nithyananda Spurana program, NSP, you will realize that you are part of the collective consciousness. It will not stop there. You will realize that not only you are part of, but you are the collective consciousness. Remember that you are not just an individual consciousness as you think. As you start traveling deeper and deeper, layer by layer, the realization will dawn that you are just one with everything. As a result, you start feeling a sense of well being in the mental layer, the pranic layer, the etheric layer, the physical layer, and all the other layers, and automatically all diseases disappear. When you really experience that you are the boundaryless consciousness in an unbelievable experience that is difficult to describe. I have seen people at the end of the program in such an extreme that they forget their name, their identity, their social status, their education, their qualifications, their wealth, their religion, everything that they are and that they have. They respect every other illusion in the heart with such a flowing of love and gratitude. All of them fall at each other's feet. I have seen the father-in-law falling at the feet of his daughter-in-law. In India, this never happens. It is too much to ask, as per the traditions followed in India. However, this has happened at the end of the program only because he is able to see the divinity in her at that moment. The mother-in-law sees the divinity in the son-in-law and falls at his feet. Grandparents touch the feet of grandchildren. So bosses or owners touch the feet of the people working under them. So this experience of oneness or collective consciousness makes us forget all differences in name, wealth, social status, and prestige. Whatever we think as ourselves, all of it just disappears. And what we truly are is revealed. I have seen that by touching the feet of their worst enemies, people simply forgive and forget the past. They experience such a deep level of consciousness, such bliss that literally the ego disappears. They just go around and see God in everyone, and they are in bliss, ecstasy, and collective consciousness. Mind you, it is not that they are visualizing or hallucinating. When the experience happens, the whole group realizes that they are all one and the same, that they are not different entities. A small story. There was a farmer who grew superior quality and award-winning corn. Year after year, his corn won honor and prizes in the state level. One year, a newspaper reporter interviewed him. The reporter wanted to find out something interesting about how the farmer grew the best corn. During the interview, the reporter discovered that the farmer shared his seed corn with his neighbors. How can you afford to share your best seed corn with your neighbors when they too are entering their corn in competition with yours each year? The reporter asked. Why, sir, said the farmer. Didn't you know? The wind picks up pollen from ripening corn, swirls it from field to field. If my neighbors grew inferior, substandard, and poor quality corn, cross pollination will steadily degrade the quality of my corn. If I am to grow good corn, I must help my neighbors grow good corn. Such a beautiful story. How many are getting this? The farmer gave a super insight into the connectedness of life. His corn couldn't be better or improves until his neighbor's corn also improved. The farmer had learned the secret of harmonious life. If we choose to be at harmony, we must help our neighbors and colleagues to be at peace. If we choose to live well, then we must help others live well too. If we choose to be happy, we must help others to find happiness. We must work with others because we are all connected with each other. No matter how remote it may seem, the value of a life is measured by the lives that it touches. Only when we experience the collective consciousness can we realize and experience the meaning of the word bliss, eternal bliss, Nithya, Ananda. Now we were watching actually Swamiji's explanation, and because of the darshan, we stopped in between. So I'm going to play that again. We watched a little bit of this. We are going to continue this.
The air which you inhale and exhale, understand? The prana which goes inside and comes out, that is the second layer, second part of your body. To kill somebody, you don't have to even poison the body. If you are just your body, if you have to be killed, your poison has to be added inside your body. But if poison is added, poisonous gas is added even in the room, the person will die. Means your boundary is not just the skin. You are not ending where your skin ends. The pranic layer is like a maybe if you inhale and exhale deeply, from which distance you can smell. For example, you can smell, some people may be able to smell any smell which is there 6 feet distance. For some people, they can smell even 20 feet. For some people, fortunately, who kept the nose very sharp in the young age, if you are not suppressed, your nose will be very sharp. Your sense of smell will be very sharp. They can smell even 70, 80 feet. The distance you can smell is your pranic layer. That area here, if it is polluted or corrupted, directly you will be affected. Then you may think, if my nose is too sharp, then I have to maintain too much area. Understand? Pollution, even if you don't maintain, it is going to affect the health. If your nose is sharp, at least you will know you are inhaling polluted air. You are inhaling polluted air, nothing else. The distance you can smell will be your pranic layer, prana sharira. Understand? In the physical layer, the distance between two persons is more. In the prana sharira, Many of our prana sariras are overlapping. Means the distance between two persons is less. That is why sometimes when you sit next to somebody, you will feel uncomfortable. With somebody, you will feel very relaxed, very restful. The meditation class I have seen, before meditation, they will not feel any uncomfort to sit next to somebody. But after meditation, because the sensitivity has grown, they will just move out of that person. Move out of that person. Because now they can feel the pranic layer. Now the boundary is overlapping. Animals are very conscious and very intelligent about the pranic layer. You can see in the zoos, if the other animal enters the pranic layer, that's enough. This girl will be showing the face. And early morning, if you see Indian streets, I have seen the dogs will go around and ensure their pranic layer is protected by pissing in the light bulbs. And they will go around and ensure that their pranic layer is, their boundaries are protected. Anybody who enters inside the boundary itself is enough. This fellow will get ready for fight. Without moving away, when you close your eyes, is mental layer. For example, if you close your eyes and able to visualize this hall in one single frame of mind, in one single visualization, if you are able to visualize this hall, this is the distance of your mental layer. For example, if you have to visualize the parking lot, you may have to leave this frame and go there. You may have to unclutch from this frame and visualize the parking lot. Kids can visualize at least 10 times more space than you. That is why many questions they ask, you are not able to answer. Understand? If you are in an open space, if you are in front of an ocean or a vast hilly region, how much area you can visualize? You may be able to visualize some 30-degree vision. This much area only you will be able to visualize in one picture in your heart, in your inner space. If you have to visualize the other side, you have to move this out only as a second thought or as a second visualization only you can visualize. But with the kids, they can easily visualize 120 degree. 120 degree, and especially the kids who doesn't go to school, who are not abused by the so-called verbal-based, word-based education system, logic-based education system. Of course, I can't say it is a Western because now Eastern, Western, everywhere, logic-based education system. The kids who are not abused, abused by the logic-based education system, they will have 360-degree visualization. Understand? When I talk about my first experience, I talk about this only. I was able to visualize. I opened up to the visualization of 360 degree. Kids, till you finish them making like you, till you give birth to your software into them. When you give birth only to hardware, your hardware in them. Only genetically they are affected. When you put your education system in them, you affected them mentally also. You affected them mentally too. Till they are affected mentally, till they are abused by the, I wanted to use this word again and again, by the logic-based education, which is the worst damage done to the human mind. When the logic-based education system is given, they lose the ability of visualization, seeing things under one visualization. The creativity or innovation is lost. I tell you. Along with the verbal, word-based or the logic-based education, if your kids can do little meditation or this carving, anything directly done by using the hand, carving or painting or completely involving eyes and the hands, they can bring the visualization energy back efficiency back to their system. If that can be done, it will really take care without abusing the kids. Anyhow, mental layer means the area you are able to visualize without any need to move away. For example, if you are visualizing now, able to visualize now this whole hall, one more important thing. Most of you may not even be able to visualize this whole hall at a time. Once you, even the whole hall, if you see, you will see first people, then you will see the screen. Even for this hall, you may need 2-3 movement. The area which you are able to visualize without moving is the mental layer boundary. Mental layer boundary. One more important thing. Like if Annamaya Kosha has to be killed, poisoning Annamaya Kosha is needed. Through Pranamaya corruption, poisoning polluting the air is needed. In the mental layer, anybody who is inside that mental layer, his ideas will go into your system without your editing. That's an important thing. So, corrupting ideas are put in your head. That is why whatever ad goes on in the television enters your head. Because that time, that becomes your mental layer. That becomes part of your mental layer. Hardly 10% you logically analyze the news which is read out to you in the TV, or the informations which are told to you through the TV. Because in the TV, in 10 minutes, almost you become part of that mental layer. That becomes part of your mental layer. That is why 90% of the words and ideas which is told to you through the TV, just goes inside. Corrupting 2-3 TV channels is enough to pollute the whole mental setup of particular country, certain country. Fourth layer, very important, etheric layer. Understand? Mahadeva talks about the fourth layer here, means layer of emotions, sentiments. Here the boundary will be bigger. Here the boundary will be even between USA to India. If your relatives are there in India, the distance is too much. Even if they are there, if they are sick, the suffering will be there for you. If somebody dies, the suffering will be there for you. The etheric layer is too big. Understand? Physical layer is only 6 feet. Your skin is the boundary. Pranic layer is the area up to the, you can smell. Up to the area you can smell is the pranic layer, boundary. Mental layer is the area you are able to visualize in one frame, one visualization. That is mental layer. Etheric layer is based on emotional connection. It does not have boundary. Does not have boundary. It is only based on the love or emotional connection you have with people. The feeling you have with people. The connection you have with people. An important thing you need to understand about the feeling or the connection you carry with the people. Even unconsciously it affects you. Even if you don't know they are sick, suddenly you will be low. Why you don't know? Then you will get the telephone call, they are sick. When you are really connected, even without logic, without knowingly, even if you are not informed through your conscious mind, your unconscious will start suffering. Mahadeva says, start feeling the etheric presence. Understand? When you start feeling the etheric presence of you, means where all your energy is invested. All your emotional connections are like your energy investments. You can easily unclutch yourself from the sufferings. If you can find out all the etheric presence connections, your etheric layer connections, you can easily unclutch and enter into the enlightenment or the energy plane, where there is no bondage, where there is no disturbance. If food poison happens, your annam, the physical plane can be corrupted. If the air pollution happens, your pranamaya kosha can be disturbed. If a thought pollution happens, your manomaya kosha can be disturbed. If emotional ideology pollution happens, your etheric layer can be disturbed. Understand? Somebody can be tortured or prisoned. Here you will be suffering without even you directly getting involved with it. You can be tortured through remote control way. That is what is etheric layer is all about. Many times I have seen people feel etherically connected, means emotionally connected. Maybe the word etheric is too mysterious or mystical. If you are emotionally connected to the people who are back in your home, or if you are emotionally connected to people, some group of some religion, some group or some language, whenever some problem comes for them, you are here suffering. I have seen people suffer for no reason. I am all for serving lovingly and compassionately. If a tsunami hits, serve compassionately, nothing wrong. But don't start suffering. People think only by suffering you can serve. No, if you are suffering, you will not have energy to serve. You will not have energy to serve. Stop suffering. Have empathy. Empathy means feeling they are suffering and immediately working to remove it. Sympathy means suffering along with them. Empathy means working to remove their suffering. You are not supposed to suffer with them. I have seen. If Tamilians suffer there, here the Tamilians feel suffering. If the Hindus suffer there, here Hindus feel suffering. Somewhere if Muslims are suffering, here the Muslims will suffer. If you have etheric connection, emotional bondage, you invite, you accept, you are waiting for more and more suffering. Mahadeva says, feel your etheric presence with whom all you feel connected. Just for 10 days, try this technique. Feel you are present to all the people with whom you are feelingly connected. You are emotionally connected. Feel like a light beam in the form of a big light. You are connected to all the people with whom you emotionally feel connected. For example, if your parents are there in India, mostly none of you feel connected emotionally. If at all you feel emotionally connected, just visualize continuously. Your body is huge enough to accommodate the whole India inside, and they are there inside it. It may look very funny, but in 10 days, you will have so many new revelations. Understand? So many new revelations. How you imbibe, bring, invite new unnecessary sufferings. When you feel connected to them, even if they are not suffering, if they are going through some incident which you think as suffering, you will create suffering for you. Many times, they will be completely free, relaxed, resting. But what you think as suffering, if they go through, what you will do? You will feel the suffering and you will create suffering for them by forcing it on them. No, 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 this cannot happen to you. We do same thing in the name of love. I call that as a loving torture. Now I go through many times from disciples, especially when they feed. They think if I eat more, they will get more punya. Based on my weight, they will get more punya. I don't know then what will happen to me. See, the suffering which we invite unnecessarily unconsciously. The moment it is brought to your conscious awareness, it will disappear. Not only with parents and relatives I'm talking. Many ways you may be connected to your religious people, or your community people, your group of people, or your language people. You will have the common identity connections. Understand? Conditioning is one of the dangerous things. If you are connected to the whole world, that is wonderful. You will never bring suffering for yourself. Because when you expand to the whole world without boundary, there is no ideology-based connection. That does not belong to etheric. That belongs to cosmic body. Etheric body means emotion-based connection, conditioning-based connection, conditioning-based love, conditioning-based connection will always lead to calamity, will always lead to danger, will always lead to violence. Because the other part, the part which you excluded, naturally you will be violent towards them. Naturally you will be violent, angry towards them. I've seen how the conditioning brings so much of suffering unconsciously to a person, and the suffering which he enjoys or cherishes creates more violence and suffering. Understand? Ego means working based on pain body and expanding the boundary of pain body is ego. If you are making some decisions because of the people whom you think is your own is suffering, all your decisions to alleviate their suffering will add only more suffering to the planet Earth. You may add suffering to somebody else, and that person naturally will add suffering to the group which you are thinking as your own. Say, I for I will only end up making the whole world blind. You will remove his eye and he will remove, as a revenge, one person from your party. And all you guys will remove now one person from their party. If continuously this goes on, where it will end? It will make the whole world blind. That's all. Ending place will be whole world blind. Mahadeva says, enter etheric presence, pervading far above. Understand? He knows, I think, people are going to live too far and have the etheric connection. That's why he does not say above, far above. And far below your form. Your form may be the center, but with whoever you feel connected emotionally, if some particular language people, or a religious people, or a relative, or community, anything condition-based connection. Condition-based connection. 10 days from morning till night, be aware of all of them as a part of your own body. Visualize you have a huge light body. Body of them are inside you as part. Maybe looking very funny, feeling very funny. You may think, how this can lead me to enlightenment? You do not know. You do not know with how many conditionings you are suffering in unconscious level. Only when you practice this, you will realize all the layers and layers of conditionings with which you are suffering unconsciously. They will all come up to consciousness. The moment they come up to the consciousness, naturally you will be unclutched from them. You will be relieved from them. You will be relaxed from them. Understand? The sutra is very powerful. May not directly now, you may not feel. How can this open enlightenment? Till you open the door, you will not be aware what is inside the building. I have seen so many people. When they come inside our temple, when they open the Vedic temple door, it's hardly 7 feet door. They never imagine anything. They can't imagine what is inside. The moment they open the door inside and second door and look inside, God, huh? They get the shock because psychologically, you always feel inside you will see things only up based on the height of the entrance. If the entrance is 7 feet, inside also you already imagine or come to a pre-conclusion, prejudice, you are going to see only the things which are taller, equivalent to this height. You never imagine, only when you see, suddenly you have the shock. God, what is this? How did it all come inside? How all these deities are there? The moment only when they see inside, they get the shock. That is why I just wanted to agree, really wanted to name that place as a shock spot. The moment they open the eyes, oh God, such a shock. Till you see, you do not know what you are going to see with that key. Same way, till you practice for 10 days, you do not know how many layers of your own conditioning you are going to experience with this technique. You will see two big things, much more than what you expected. It is a very wonderful technique. The next sutra is a continuity. Actually, it is a same sutra. Only one small difference, technique, the difference in technique. Put mind stuff in such inexpressible fineness, above, below, and in your heart. Understand? The same technique. In first technique, Mahadeva says, experience the etheric presence above and below you. In the second technique, he says, it's actually a developed version. After you practice the first, you have to do second. You can't do second directly. He says, be aware of all the etheric connections you have. Means the etheric bodies, boundaries you have. Along with that, be aware of your boundary also. Here you need to put awareness in two places. Let me describe exactly what Mahadeva means. In the first sutra, he says, just put your awareness on mind. That is enough. I will automatically get dismantled. Because I has no individual base except the mind. The second, he says, sometime you would have collected a very strong I. You don't even know the corruption, the depth of corruption which exists in that I. Beyond conditioning, you may be having some ideas. So put your awareness on that also. Understand? Two different techniques. Maybe the second technique for real thick heads. Real thick heads. First technique is remember, be aware, expand to all the psychological, emotional, etheric connections which brings you suffering. I have seen many times. See, if you can stop accumulating etheric anger and etheric lust, that is enough, you are liberated. Because the anger or lust which you can contain in this body will never be harmful to you. Will never be harmful to you. I've seen people carrying the anger which directly is not involved to their life. If somebody is killed somewhere who is supposed to be the community in which he is born and brought up, here his blood will boil. When they read the news, let him suffer. I know you should have it. Sitting in front of TV, they will be shouting. Accumulating the anger more than what you need to run your day-to-day life is the danger. Accumulating the lust more than what you need to run your day-to-day life. Some celebrity is dancing in the TV. And already you accumulated the lust, which you can't directly use in your day-to-day life, which is useless. In your day-to-day life, that lust is not going to be useful. but you accumulated that lust. Naturally, that is going to stay inside you as a blockage. If you have the lust with the person with whom you are living, which you can directly express, means useful to your day-to-day life. Useful to your day-to-day life. Accumulate lust or anger, useful to your day-to-day life, that will never be dangerous. That will never be dangerous. I tell you, it will only help you to run your day-to-day life with excitement. Somebody goes to a doctor and says, "Doctor, I want to live 100 years. What all should I do?" Doctor asks, "Do you drink?" He said, "No." "Do you smoke?" "No." "Do you fool around, date around?" He says, "No, I live a straight, simple, pure life." Then doctor asks, "Then why do you want to live 100 years?" Understand? I'm not saying disconnect or destroy everything. Accumulate the anger which is needed only for your day-to-day life. You may need anger to run your business. You may need little shouting to maintain your office discipline. You may need little lust to have to add excitement in your relationship. You may need little lust to keep the love or to keep the family going on. Have the lust, have the anger, have the emotions which are directly needed for your day-to-day life, not etheric. Seeing some particular dimensioned male or female who are called models jumping somewhere, if you accumulate the lust, which is not going to be directly straight away useful in your day-to-day life, you are creating blockages. You are creating disturbance in your etheric system. Understand? Be aware of even all those attachments. If you have your hero, if you are a fan of somebody, 15 days, remember that person is part of your etheric body. Because all those things are also directly connected with whoever you are attached. Remember all those things as part of your body for 15 days. Suddenly you will see how much of suffering is added into your life by them. Not directly by them. Your emotional attachment to them. Your attachment to them. Same way, whoever you don't like, for no reason, you don't like somebody. All right, you don't like, that is true. Your hatred, can it do anything to the person directly? No. It is not directly going to be useful in your day-to-day life. I have seen people sitting with the newspaper and reading the mortuary columns and feeling, this fellow, he needs this. As if you are never going to die. As if your photo is never going to appear in that mortuary column. Maybe it may not appear in the column in the newspaper, but it's not that you are not going to die. At least somebody has given an advertisement for him in the mortuary column. I've seen. Means vengeance, which is not directly useful in the day-to-day life. Lust, which is not directly useful in your day-to-day life. If you can accumulate the anger, lust, all the emotions which is directly needed for your everyday life, and spend it, your life will be like that barber before finding the golden jar. It will be contented, fulfilled, wonderful. But the moment you find the golden jar and try to fulfill it, like collecting the anger and collecting the lust, collecting the violence, which is not directly useful in your day-to-day life, which you can't spend. The big problem with the Yaksha's jar, golden part, is you will never feel like taking it out and spending. You will only feel like filling it. Same way, the collected anger and lust, which is not directly in your life, useful in your life, you will never be able to spend it. You will be only accumulating it. And anybody who is working based on the accumulated anger and lust without reason, without the direct use, will continue to suffer, continue to suffer, continue to suffer, because all their decisions will be made on the pseudo anger, pseudo lust, which is not directly useful in their life. Be aware, two technique, understand? Be aware, first 10 days, only about the etheric body. That itself will take your awareness. You will not be aware of you also. Just be aware of all the etheric connections and the body around the world, all your likes and dislikes, love and hatred, all the connections. Remember, everything is inside you as part of your body. Move with the same visualization for 10 days. You will see so many understandings and revelations and great spiritual clicks happening in you. So many initiations will open up. Second thing, second part, if in the first part itself, if you achieve the truth, then no need for second. Otherwise, the second part, be aware of you also, center also. Then, so many other things can happen. Put mind stuff in such inexpressible fineness above, below, and in your heart. That's the only word added. The key word added is and in your heart. That is the essence. Understand? Both techniques are today, fortunately, part of the same sutra, because I'm seeing many of you are tired after attending 2 long days of workshop. So, I think Shiva knows maybe. After the 2-day workshop, the sutra is going to be taken. So he gave both the techniques in one sutra so that you don't have to sit for more time. I'll tell the essence in few lines. Visualize all the love, hatred, emotional relationships which you have in your life as part of your etheric body, means light body. Visualize you have a huge light body. If you have somebody who is really emotionally connected to you in India, visualize you have a huge body which extends up to India, and that person is inside that body. 10 days carry this visualization. Let all the emotional, hatred or loving connections be inside your etheric body. And if you experience the ultimate click with this technique, go ahead with this. If not, the second thing, add. Along with that, be aware of your center also. Your center also. Then you will see the new layers of click opening up. So, let you, of course, tomorrow we have the last day of Shiva Sutra. So, welcome you all to be here tomorrow to enjoy the last day of Shiva Sutra here, because I will be doing the remaining few sutras. Maybe in the ashram, Indian ashram, I will complete it. So, formally, the public lecture Shiva Sutra will be ending tomorrow. It took almost 2 years. I remember 2006, January, we started, and 2007, December, it took 2 years to comment on at least around 100 sutras. We'll be finishing the public discourses on Shiva Sutras tomorrow. I welcome you all. So let the sutras be internalized by you and practiced by you. Let you all achieve and radiate the eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank you.
Welcome everyone. So what is your understanding of this? Can you please post it? Your internalization. Jnana Prasadini, Shanandaya. Now let's enter into the meditation to cleanse the mental layer. Now, let me explain the meditation technique clearly. Now, first slowly, very slowly, consciously feel that your head is being pressed inside your heart. It's a very beautiful meditation. Then clearly visualize that your head has gone into your heart region. Visualize that you are seeing through the heart. You are also breathing through the heart. You are relating with the entire world through the heart. The head is not there. There is just empty space above the neck. Just trust that this is true. Until all of you lose your head, you have to go on with the meditation. First, you will be in the sitting posture where you will lose the head. Then you will know how to breathe without the head, how to see without the head, how to smell without the head. These are all very simple actions. Now, you should learn how to move your hands without the head, how to move your body without your head. Finally, you will end up with a peak movement, maybe running or dancing. All your movements will be done without the idea or without the remembrance of the head. Now, we will start with the meditation. Sit down and close your eyes and tie your eye bands. You will need a little space for movement. Take slow and deep breaths just for a few minutes. Along with it, feel that your head is being pressed into the chest region. Become totally headless. You have no head now. You are headless. Feel that you are breathing from the heart. Feel that you are seeing through the heart. Feel that you smell through the heart. Feel very clearly that you are breathing through the heart. Listen to everything around you through the heart. Listen to this music that is being placed through the heart, not through the head. Listen through the heart, speak through the heart, feel through the heart. Stand up and have the consciousness from the heart. And let your movements be as slow as possible. Remember that you are moving from the heart. Your center is from the heart, not from the head. Again and again, forget the head. Move from the heart. Move as slowly as possible, but from the heart. Remember, you are a headless being. Move only from the heart. You are a headless being. Now, start. Please tie your eyes with eye band. Now you understand the meditation. Let's start. Please close your eyes. Tie your eyes with eye band. First, slowly, very slowly and consciously feel that your head is being pressed inside your heart. Then, clearly visualize that your head has gone into your heart machine. Visualize that you are seeing through the heart. You are also breathing through the heart. You are relating with the entire world through the heart. The head is not there. There is just empty space above the neck. Just trust that this is true. Until all of you lose your head, you have to go on with the meditation. First, you will be in the sitting posture where you will lose the head. Then, you will know how to breathe without the head, how to see without the head, how to smell without the head. These are all very simple actions. Next, you should learn how to move your hands without head, how to move your body without your head. Finally, you will end up with a peak movement, maybe running or dancing. All your movements will be done without the idea or without the remembrance of the head. Any questions? Start doing. from the heart. Without the head. Smell without the head. These are all very simple actions. You should learn how to move your hands without the head. How to move your body without your head. Feel that you are breathing from the heart. Just see through the heart. Smell through the heart. Feel very clearly that you are breathing through the heart. Listen to this music that you feel through the heart, not through the head. Listen through the heart, see through the heart, feel through the heart. Expand the consciousness from the heart and let your movements be as slow as possible. Remember that you are moving from the heart. Your center is from the heart, not from the head. Again and again, forget the head. Move from the heart. As slowly as possible, but you are ahead. Slowly, very slowly, you may open your eyes. You may take a break and do not walk to each other. Maintain silence so that the process may be understood. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. We'll be doing this meditation again. I'll explain this in detail. Again, we'll be doing this tomorrow's session. We are going to cover more layers, more bodies tomorrow. We're going to continue the Nithyananda Spurana tomorrow also, and we will cover this again and join back again for the rest of the sessions for tomorrow of the Nithyananda Spurana. Rest of the body. This course is not complete, and tomorrow again, please join and we'll have the session. Now let's pay our deepest gratitude to Swamiji. And with the space of deep gratitude, let's conclude with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Hari Om Tasat Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Paduka Arpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Nithyanandam, everyone. Thank you so much and see you all tomorrow. Nithyanandam.